What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Sever YouTube channel, where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. My name is Eric. Today, my brother Chris and I will be reviewing for you the Bedrock Cairn Evo Pro. This is a sandal that we've been adventuring in all summer long, and we're finally ready to tell you all the things that we like and don't like about it. Chris and I are going to bounce back and forth. There's timestamps in the description if you want to jump around, but let's just get into it. I'm going to send you over to him to talk about his first like of the Bedrock Cairn Evo Pro.
Getting into my likes of the Cairn Evo Pro, the first like that I'm going to bring up is actually going to be a dislike for Eric. So you'll hear this topic come up again, but I actually really like the shape of the sandal overall. We've worked with a bunch of sandals this summer, and some of them have been a little bit more square, and personally I don't mind that. I like them to be more square and foot shaped than less overall, because we've also had some that tapered a little too tightly in towards the toe, like the Xero sandals that we tried, and that'll cause my foot to slip off one side or the other, and that is uncomfortable. I really like the shape of the Cairn Evo Pro just because it fits the shape of my foot perfectly.
Okay, so the first thing that I like about these sandals is that it's really easy to get the straps adjusted just right for your foot. So they've got these little hooks, little micro adjustments, I'm calling them, and they have different slots, and so you can tighten or loosen the straps that way. But you only need to do that once. Once you find that perfect fit, then all you have to do is use that main strap to tighten and loosen, and you're good to go. So I found that it's a really effective, really simple system as far as getting the strap set up for your specific foot, and I've really liked it, especially compared to some of the other sandals that we've gotten, where getting the fit just right with those straps has been a little more difficult. This is one of the brands where it's a lot easier.
The next like that I want to bring up for the sandal is going to be that they feel both very sturdy and they feel very secure. So at no point was I ever worried that these things were going to come loose from my foot unwillingly. The strap system is very clever, and I won't get into it too much, but I love that it does have a quick pull tab. That is all awesome. But whether I was road running, trail running, hiking around, or just hanging out with the family around town in the Cairn Evo Pro, I never felt like it was going to unwittingly come loose from my foot. With that, it also feels very, very sturdy. I know Eric had a hiccup with a stitch. He'll talk about that, and Bedrock was really good about remedying all of that. But these things have been totally sturdy for me. They feel very sturdy, so they give me a little bit of peace of mind when I'm wearing them for certain activities.
All right, another thing that I really like about the Bedrock Evo Pro specifically, I can't speak to the rest of their sandals, but at least with this one, it performs really, really well in the water. So let's talk about the footbed for a second, because somebody asked how it feels when it gets wet, if it feels too slick or not, and it actually has some really good texturing. So even though the footbed is wet, your toes kind of feel like they still have something to grip onto. So I think that's a really nice feature to it. It doesn't feel slick or slippery in that footbed when it's wet. And then there's the outsole. It's a Vibram outsole. Obviously, you want it to perform really well in the water. That's what they're known for. And this one does a great job. I've really enjoyed walking at the bottom of this waterfall with it. And then getting out of the water, it does a really good job on slick rocks too. You still have quite a bit of grip. So you can see the shot of me walking off the ledge that I used to get to the top of that waterfall. And I really only trust certain shoes with doing that. And this is one that I had no problems with. So I definitely have a lot of confidence in how the Bedrock Evo Pro works in the water.
The last like that I want to bring up for the Cairn Evo Pro is going to be the balance that they managed to strike between ruggedness and minimalism. This is a 14mm sandal overall, but we still have a decent amount of flex and twist to move around with your foot no matter what your foot is doing. We also have a really nice chunky mega grip outsole here from Vibram, but I don't think it's overkill. I think that they struck a really good balance between allowing you to have some good ground feel and some good protection, and that allows this thing to do a little bit of both. Obviously, trail running in this thing and hiking in this thing is going to be great, but then you can totally wear this around town without it looking too chunky and overblown for more casual situations, and I really, really like that balance.
All right, so for my last like with the Bedrock sandals, I'm going to talk about the warranty, because I actually had an issue with these sandals, and so I wanted to talk about that in a really positive light because it's been a great experience. So the stitching right here that attaches the strap to this wing started to come undone. I noticed it during my trip to the Tetons, and first off,
let me say that this sandal would survive that failure anyways. They let me know that this strap is actually a single piece that's laminated underneath the footbed there. So even though that stitching is failing, the sandal would still work just fine. But I reached out to the guys, let them know that it was happening, and they directed me to their warranty, which I used. Now let me read this off to you because it's a really, really great thing. Not every company has this great of a warranty. So it says, your sole, straps, or upper break from any defective manufacturing during the sole's lifetime, we will either repair or replace them for free and cover the cost of shipping both ways in the US. So as long as this Vibram outsole has some life to it, which is I think down to like a millimeter worth of lugs, then they will fix any manufacturing defects. So I am going to send this pair off with the shipping label that I've got from the guys and then wait for my new pair to come. Alright, so here is the package from Bedrock. It's going to have my new Cairn Evo Pros in there. Let's unbox them real quick and take a look. And here are the new ones that I got. So this warranty really works out really well. I think it's a pretty standout thing that the company has. If you're gonna pay this much money for a sandal, you definitely want it to be backed up with something solid like that. I think that their durability is already built in, and then with that warranty, it's a really solid thing. So I've definitely been a fan of this entire process that I experienced with that little failure, and then this replacement pair that's made it into my hands. All right, before getting into the dislikes of the sandals, we need to take a break here to highlight the sponsor of this video, which is Creepers Toe Socks. If you're into the barefoot shoe space and you haven't gotten into toe socks yet, then you are missing out. And of the 20+ brands that we reviewed, Creepers are definitely our favorites. We think they have an amazing blend of comfort, durability, and performance. We wear them every single day for every single activity. They do this awesome thing where they keep your feet cool in the summer and they keep them warm in the winter. So we really love Creepers toe socks. There is a link in the description of the video for you to go and check out their website. Thank you, Creepers, for sponsoring this video. So one dislike that I can think of with the Bedrock sandals is that the foam of the footbed is actually pretty dense and pretty hard. It requires a little bit of a breaking period. Now, I don't know if that's something that I really don't like about it, or maybe it's just something that you need to know about it. When you do get them in your hands and on your feet the first time, it's probably gonna feel pretty hard under your foot, but they do break in super nicely. I noticed that between the pair that I had sent in for the warranty and the new pair that I got, that there was a pretty big difference already after just like a month of use in how that footbed felt. And the new ones are definitely a lot harder under your foot, but they do break in. They break in super nice. So again, maybe not quite a dislike, but something to keep in mind when you get them.
Getting into my dislikes of the Cairn Evo Pro, the only thing I really don't like about this is going to be the overall comfort of the strap system. And that's not to say that it's uncomfortable, but it could be more comfortable. Part of this is probably because we've tried so many different kinds of sandals, and the ones that have padding in the strap systems are really nice. So while I find this comfortable, it could be way more comfortable if they did add some padding, especially in certain places like at the heel and across the top of the foot. So the sandal is not uncomfortable, but if they added in a little bit of padding here and there at strategic points in the strap system, it could definitely be more comfortable.
All right, another dislike for me, and this isn't a huge deal breaker or anything like that, but the shape of it is just a little off for my foot specifically. And I think really what I need out of it is just a little more width. Like my feet, because they're so secure in the footbed, don't feel like they're gonna slip off of it at all, but they're pushing the edges of that footbed. So of the many sandals that we've gotten this summer, this one feels like it's one of the narrower ones. If they were to rework anything, I would say make that footbed just a little bit wider.
Getting into my final opinion on the Cairn Evo Pro, if somebody is looking for a adventure style barefoot sandal, would I recommend this one to them? Absolutely. This is actually in my top 2. You'll find out what the other one is later. Eric and I are working on a video right now where we're going to compare and contrast all of the barefoot adventure sandals that we've worked with so far, and then let you know which ones are our favorites and why. So keep an eye out for that video. But this one, again, would be in my top 2. Some of the reasons for that, like Like I talked about, I love the shape of the footbed. It fits my foot very, very nicely. The strap system is so clever in the adjustments. You really can get the perfect fit for you, and then that glide tab that they have that makes this thing easy on and easy off is super, super awesome. I also am in love with the balance that they went with when it came to their stack height. They really got the perfect balance of ruggedness and minimalism. Throwing on that mega grip outsole, wasn't overdoing it when it came to this specific stack height balance. I just think this thing was really, really cleverly and well made for its purposes, and it does a really, really good job.
All right, so I'm back from my little hike and going to give you my final opinion of the Bedrock Cairn Evo Pro, and I really love this sandal. I think that this is a product that you could wear all day, every day throughout the summer, no matter what it is that you're doing. So whether that's going out on a run, I did a vlog with it actually. You can go find that video where I took it on a 7-mile run where I was on pavement, I was on trails, did a really good job there. It's a great casual sandal. I don't think that this Vibram outsole that it has is out of place just around town. And then obviously it performs really well on hikes, especially in water. I love the way that this thing worked today walking around that waterfall. Obviously there were a few dislikes that I had with the sandal, but they definitely weren't deal breakers. And the biggest one, and I didn't even talk about it, is the style of this sandal, because these thong style sandals with the one strap on top of your foot, to me, they're not the most appealing to the eye, but this thing functions so well that it's completely overridden that dislike, which is why I didn't really talk about it. I love the strap system that it has, the footbed, the outsole. It performs really well in any situation. Highly, highly recommended. I really like this sandal, and it makes me really want to try more stuff from Bedrock.
Folks, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All those things really help the channel out. If you're interested in any of the products that we talked about in this video, there will be links to them down in the description. If we have discount codes for any of those companies, they will be featured with the links. If you want to get more content from us, there are 3 different places you can get it. The first one is Patreon, where for $1 a month, you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes content we don't post anywhere else. If you want to be most up to date with what we are working on, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly posting unboxing videos. Go follow us on Strava if you're interested in seeing mini reviews in real time of the products we're using and what we're using them for. Strava allows you to track and post about your different activities. We track and post about our runs, trail runs, hikes, paddleboarding, and weightlifting, and we do little mini reviews on the products we're using during those activities. Go follow us there, and we will follow you back. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.